What is going on, everybody? And today I am back with another top 5 video, and this is top 5 free agents that need to happen in the 2017 offseason. Let me know what you guys think should happen in the 2017 offseason. Some cool signings you think could change up the NBA. I did leave LeBron, Curry, Gordon Hayward, and Kyle Lowry off this list because I do see them re-signing with their current teams. And now let's get into this. First one comes point guard Jrue Holiday signing with the New York Knicks. Jrue Holiday is a highly productive player when he's healthy, but he does get injured a lot. But adding him to this Knicks offense, because they're most likely not bringing Derrick Rose back, would be lethal. They would have a starting 5 of Jrue Holiday, Courtney Lee, Carmelo Anthony, Kristaps Porzingis, and hopefully Willy Hernangomez, because he is the most talented center on the roster. But adding Jrue Holiday would be a great facilitator to Kristaps Porzingis and Carmelo Anthony. I am judging this based off they probably still will have Joakim Noah and Courtney Lee, so those big salary players will be on this team, and I don't see them signing a future shooting guard or center. I see them rolling with Courtney Lee next year and Willy Hernangomez after they see he's the most talented center. He's better than Kyle Quinn. He's better than Joakim Noah, and that would be the starting 5. Jrue Holiday, Courtney Lee, Melo, Porzingis, Willy Hernangomez could be a devastating starting 5 in the Eastern Conference. I could maybe land them a 6 or a 5 seed. Nothing that's going to change the world or bring any new life to the NBA, but it will be a pretty respectable starting 5. For the number 4 and 3 spots, I do have a player signing to 2 teams, possibly. It would be really cool. At number 4 comes Paul Millsap signing to the Portland Trailblazers. Now, if the Portland Trailblazers were able to add a all-star player like Paul Millsap, they could be a very, very scary team in the Western Conference. If they had a starting 5 of Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum, Al-Farouq Aminu, Paul Millsap, and maybe Yusuf Nurkic, that would open a lot of eyes in the Western Conference. They are disappointing a lot of people this year, but that's because of just disappointing and just not performing what their high expectations were after last year. But if they add Paul Millsap, a former all-star, to their team that can spread the floor, he could shoot, play defense, pretty much could do it all. He's a little bit overrated, people say, or people even say he's a little bit underrated, but if he signs to the T-Wolves, not to the T-Wolves, the Thunder, that would be pretty cool. And not the Thunder, the Trailblazers. I'm all over the place today. But then the next team I want him to sign would be cool if he signed with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, if the Milwaukee Bucks, you tell me they had a starting 5 of Giannis Antetokounmpo, Chris Middleton, Jabari Parker, Paul Millsap, and Greg Monroe, that would be scary in the Eastern Conference. That would be very scary. I don't know about Greg Monroe as your center, as your rim protector of the team, but if they were able to sign him and add him to that lineup, that would be scary, and they would have pretty good bench after that, and in a wide open Eastern Conference pretty much after the Cavs, they could definitely make a push for a 2 or a 3 seed with this lineup if they did everything right. This next one is my favorite. It's Blake Griffin signing with the Minnesota Timberwolves as his first team, and I will say second team later on. But if you had just a good power forward to this team, and Blake Griffin, who's a great power forward, and you had a starting 5 of Chris Dunn, because he'll probably take over the role over Ricky Rubio if they do move him, Zach LaVine after he comes back from his injury, Andrew Wiggins, Blake Griffin, and then Karl Anthony Towns. Oh my God. That team could contend with the Warriors. It depends all on Chris Dunn's development and if they feel they could start him. But then you would have Tyus Jones, Shabazz Muhammad, Gorgie Jang, Cole Aldrich coming off the bench, and they would just be, it's just a nice bench, and that starting lineup would just be filthy of Chris Dunn, LaVine, Wiggins, Blake Griffin, and Karl Anthony Towns. Imagine adding Blake Griffin and a Karl Anthony Towns front court in the Western Conference. That might be the best front court in the league if that were to go down. So if Blake Griffin did sign to the T-Wolves, that would be crazy. And the next team I do have him possibly signing to, or would be cool, would be the OKC Thunder. Now, if you add a second star with Russell Westbrook, it would be insane. You would have a starting 5 of Russell Westbrook, Victor Oladipo, Andre Roberson, Blake Griffin, and Steven Adams. Yes, they would probably need to move some salary, like maybe Kyle Singler's contract or Enes Kanter. They would probably have to move some people to clear up enough cap for Blake Griffin, but I feel like Blake Griffin might want to change scenery. They are a young team in OKC, and you can see kind of the Clippers championship window closing as everyone's getting older. They don't have enough depth on that team. Pretty much it's all 3 players, or it's all the starting lineup. And yeah, so if he were able to not go back to LA and he went to either the Timberwolves or the Thunder, that would be very cool to see in the NBA. Coming in at the number 2 spot, I have the San Antonio Spurs signing Chris Paul. Now, this would change the NBA drastically. Chris Paul pairing up with LaMarcus Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard would be dirty. Like, they would have to probably do something with Danny Green's contract, and of course, they would probably have to move Tony Parker, and they would have to need Pau Gasol to decline his player option. But if it's CP3, say for now, Danny Green, Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Dwayne Dedmon, that's they can contend easily. Like, they're contending now with the Warriors, but obviously they're probably not going to win the West. But if they can get this starting five, they're pretty much I think the front runners to win the West, and they would overcome the Warriors. And then that will base off the next free agent you'll see in a little bit. But adding CP3 there, and you guys got like Dwayne Dedmon, Kyle Anderson, the emergence of Dejounte Murray, depending on what Manu Ginobili does, but Jonathan Simmons, they would have a nice young bench, and then just add to that filthy starting lineup of 3 all-star players like CP3, Kawhi, and LaMarcus Aldridge. Now down to the #1 spot. This is all hypothetical, guys. I'm not saying this will happen. I'm just saying it would be really cool if it does happen. And if the Golden State Warriors win the championship this year, say Kevin Durant opts out, he got what he wanted, he got his ring, he goes home to the Washington Wizards. Now, the Washington Wizards are doing outstanding this year, opening a lot of eyes in the NBA. Nobody expected them to do this good at all. People expected them to get a lottery pick, and now they're contending for a 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. And a starting lineup of John Wall, Bradley Beal, Otto Porter, who's just breaking out this year from Georgetown, Kevin Durant, and Marcin Gortat would just be amazing. They would probably have to find a trade partner for Ian Mahinmi and see what they would want to do with Markieff Morris after that. But that would be insane if Kevin Durant went back to the Wizards, who are doing good. It's not like he's going to a losing team. But that lineup of Wall, Beal, and Durant, and Otto Porter and Gortat could definitely contend with the Cavs in the Eastern Conference. Easily, I think that team would be better than the Raptors and the Celtics right there if you sign Kevin Durant. They would play him at the 4, but people saying, oh, you can't play the 4. He's like borderline 7 foot. He's borderline 7 foot. Easily, could be a stretch 4 easily, and that would be one of the better teams in the NBA. So I thought this would be pretty cool, guys, if all these people did sign. Overall, in hypothetical terms, it would be really cool. Let me know in the comments what hypothetical signings you would want to see in the offseason. I did leave out like LeBron, because obviously he's going to probably go back to Cleveland. Curry, he's going to go back to Golden State. I think Kyle Lowry's going to go back to Toronto, and same with Gordon Hayward to the Jazz. But these, for people that might hit free agency, it would be really cool to see them signing elsewhere to these type of teams. So that's going to be for me. Let me know in the comments a top 5 video you guys would want to see next. Also, other hypothetical free agent signings you would want to see in this off season. So leave a like if you enjoyed it and you want to see more top 5 videos. Subscribe if you're new. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.